Well, we are on one of those beautiful sunny fall days that we get here sometimes in the Pacific Northwest. So we are out here with Chris at Barn Owl Nursery. And Chris, we are going to be talking about lavenders. We're used to seeing them in summertime and they're beautiful and everybody loves them, but you're a big fan of planting them now. So before we talk about doing that, let's talk about some of these varieties that you've picked for us and why you love them.
Well, I've chosen a cross of an English lavender, and it's called Luisa. It was developed in Oregon, and it has nice silver gray foliage for the winter. So we're looking at this to be put into the garden now, and then have blooms by next June.
Lovely, lovely. And what is this stunning thing that's already blooming?
Yes, this is the second bloom on Pastures Pride, and if it is cut back regularly, it will continue to bloom even longer after June and July and into the fall.
And you know, there's such a variety of lavenders now available, so go over some of these smaller 4-inch ones that you have. Some of your favorites and
Well,
why.
Opal Rain is another one that was developed in Oregon, and it has a unusual, as you can tell, white bud that opens up into a light pink white. And Opal Rain is a nice silver foliage as well, a strong stem, a longer stem than some, and a wonderful sweet scent to the lavender.
Lovely indeed. In fact, I see a lot of silver foliaged ones here.
Yes.
Does that get more intense in the fall and winter?
We will see that. Once we cut back and have harvested in June and July, in the fall, we're going to see some hardened off growth that will be more silver than gray.
Beautiful. So tell me more about them.
And so another one is Peter Pan, which has an exceptionally dark bud and opens also to a dark flower. And I like it for culinary purposes, but when we harvested it, it dries very well and stays on the stem.
So is there a selection? I heard you say a smaller one. This is true for all sizes. All of these can be going in the ground.
Yes, and Pastures Pride and Peter Pan can also be put in a large barrel. Could be a container-grown lavender.
Lovely.
And 15 to 18 is considered a semi-dwarf. Another one is Laden Blue. It's a little bit larger, but has that nice deep purple bud and flower, and would be good again for culinary bud as well as drying to stay on the stem. Forever Blue is a brand new one. I don't have it in the ground myself yet, but it has a longer stem than many of the English lavenders, again with that nice dark bud.
Stunning.
Another one that's a little more silver is Mitchum Gray.
I love that. And then this has a bit more green to it. What is this
Rebecca
one?
K. Yes, a little greener, but yet longer stemmed, and it's known to bloom twice.
Wow, wow.
So again,
will all lavenders, if you prune them at the proper time, will they rebloom generally?
Especially
at least
with
once?
the warm weather we've been having.
Then you really get them. So, in hopes for having future blooms on our lavender, let's talk about planting lavenders, because you know, we have not discussed this, I don't think, ever on the show about doing lavenders in the fall, but you're suggesting this is the best time to do it.
I think it is, because then you know you're going to have flowers after they go through a winter. They're established, and you will have winters in June and July. Flowers in June and July.
Well, they'll be blooming in winter in our minds.
Yes,
anyway.
they will. And it's a great time because you don't have to water quite as much once we have rain.
Yeah, right. So Chris, using this plant, you know, show us the best ways to plant them at this time of year.
Well, you want to go ahead and put it in your well-drained soil and plant it just to the base where it is in the pot, not any deeper than that. And if you need better drainage, you would raise the mound or put it in a raised bed. And you want to look for a nice root system to begin with, and a nice bushy plant with lots of foliage at the base.
There you go.
So we have
that's a heavy root
That
system.
is, and we break it up a little bit so that the roots have a chance to spread out into the earth and soil, and then just leave it till next spring.
Well, and you know, I see right to the left side of you there is a pot that has a stunning lavender in it right now, and it's blooming.
Yes.
What should we be doing with ones that look like this to get ready for fall?
Spanish lavender, after you see that the flowers are spent or lost their color, go ahead and cut down just a long stem, but not all the way to the base, and just plan on that will put on a tiny bit of new growth that will get hardened off this fall before we have winter. And it should be fine, and this has been pruned twice now to be fuller.
And Chris, the benefit for pruning this again at this time of year is so that in the spring they don't get floppy.
Correct, and also just to get it ready for winter. If we had a heavy snow, it would possibly break off those stems or branches.
Well, there you have it. So, you know, although I know that you are closed at this time of year, you still will have people, if they give you a call, they'll come out and chat with you and buy stuff. Is that it?
Yes,
right?
we
Wonderful.
are open by appointment only, and we are taking orders for plants to go in the ground this fall as well as next spring.
Superb. Well, there you have it. For information, we will always invite you to go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to the website. Chris, delightful. Thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
expertise on this.
Thank you.